What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's me again, Nana. But anyway, I did say that I was gonna be making videos, talking about my life. I'm gonna take it back, way back. I was born in Jersey, Atlantic City, New Jersey, on a very cold winter. It was January 6th, 82. For those 80 babies out there, that's what's up. Don't pay attention to my nails. Haha. I had dyed my hair the anyway. Anyway, off track. I was born dead winter, like I said. The second born to my mother. The sixth child to my father. Don't remember much about the early childhood. The really, really early. Except for what I've seen on videos or what I've been told. I've been told I was a very happy, loving little girl. And always want to be around the grown folks for some reason. I was, I guess, like any other child. I'd like to have fun, like to laugh and play, but something inside of me, I was always attracted to the grown people. I wanted to be around the grown people. I wanted to act like the grown people. I guess, yeah. So, I used to have a problem when I was little. I'm grown now. I don't have this problem no more, but I don't know if there's people out there who can relate. Since I was a little kid, I used to wet the bed a lot. So, I used to try to hide a lot. The fact that I used to wet the bed, I used to be so embarrassed. I used to try to hide my clothes and run and sneak off. And, you know, sometimes I'd be having too much fun and didn't want to stop and run, you know, to the restroom and end up wetting on myself and I would try to sneak home and change clothes without anybody noticing the fact. Of course, grown folks and parents will always find out. They know their child. So yeah, I had that as an issue. But other than that, from what I can remember, it was fun. It was good. Well, my parents had their problems, like most parents. I remember to me, the memory is more like a dream. But I was told it was true. I was there, seeing my father's father pass away. It was me and a cousin. I guess we were going into the room to wake up my grandfather. I don't know if it was oatmeal or it was soup or it was something soft to eat. And me going up to him and trying to shake him to wake him up and him not responding. Next thing I remember is being moved out the room. He had passed and everything. I was, I'd say about 3 years old or so. I also remember it's just like very small little fragments. You know, it's almost like rewinding a movie and just having bits and pieces and stuff. I remember bits and pieces of Puerto Rico when we were there. I think I was in Puerto Rico from like 3 to 6 years old. Give or take back and forth from Puerto Rico to New Jersey. I do remember though, at the age of 6, don't remember exactly what year. It was probably, 87, 88. So I was about 5, 6, 6, 7, give or take. When my mother, at that time, there was 3 of us. My mother had 3 kids. I'm the middle child of an older sister and a younger brother. But I want to say I was about 6 years old. Life happens. Things didn't work out between my mother and father. And she packed us up in the car one day. And to us kids, it just felt like a trip, a vacation we were taking. We were taking a long drive in my daddy's car, excuse me. We were taking a long drive in my daddy's car. and we were leaving Pleasantville, I believe is where we were living at the time. Pleasantville, New Jersey. And it was me and my older sister, my little brother, and it was my mom, and it was my Uncle Johnny. I love my Uncle Jay. Uncle Jay was always around when you least expected it. Uncle Jay would make his appearances and disappearances just like that. But it just happened to be he was in town, and he got in the car, and we made the trip. And from my point of view, it was a fun trip. It was a long drive as we made our way from New Jersey down to Florida. And all I could think, it was possibly fun because we made stops. I don't really remember too much about it, like I said, but I do have pictures. I might put little snippets. But yeah, we would stop along the lines and take pictures and stuff like that. The one vivid image that I do remember is us getting to Florida, going to Orlando, and pulling up on the outside of Disney World and taking pictures outside of the gate. We didn't go in, but we went out, we were there. Then getting in the car and leaving. I personally haven't been to Disney World since, but my family has, my parents, my siblings. And slowly but surely we made our way. We stopped in Jacksonville, Florida, before the whole Orlando, where we saw family that we have here. And then made it on down to Miami, which is our final destination, Miami, Florida. I came to find out that I had an aunt there and I had cousins there. And, yeah. So it was interesting once we got to Miami. Started school there. We found a place. We kind of moved around from here to there, but we always stayed close to our other relatives. I became really good friends or close I remember with a little cousin of mine, and we would play Barbie all the time and everything. We could play Barbie for hours. And we could stop and go about our business and then come back and pick up right where we left off and keep playing for hours. And it was like the Barbies had a life of their own. Like, they were living real life like we were. And they were going through things that real life people were. And literally, like, it wasn't like little quick games. It was just, this storyline just kept going on and on and on. And we would stop and it would pick up right where we left off and keep going and going. Those are some of the good memories. Then life happens. They're my experiences. I remember I'd get punished a lot. And I know that it was never out of spite. It was never out of anger. It was more trying to teach me or try to get me to stop. Like I said, I used to wet the bed a lot. By the time I was in elementary, I was, doing my 3rd grade, my 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th. And I was still having that issue. So my family used to try to do whatever it takes to try to get me to stop. And sometimes whatever it takes meant a little embarrassment or getting punished, having things taken away, being placed in front of people, people finding out about my situation or going to school with, whatever I wet myself on. Like I said, I hold no guilt. I hold no anger to my family, because this is through a time and with family that it's through a period of time where there wasn't classes of how to actually raise your kids or what was the right, what was the wrong. This was people that did basically what they knew to do, what was taught to them by their parents and their grandparents and their parents' parents. Mind you, I was an 80s baby, so you talking about family members, or parents and you know, and relatives that are from the 50s, the 40s, possibly, the 60s and 50s and stuff like that. So it was a different time when they were growing up. So they could only do what they knew or they thought would work or anything like that. Like I said, I hold no resentment. So, I mean, eventually, as the years went by, I did grow out of it, thank God. I don't think I would have been a good wife or partner or anything if I still would have had that issue. But anyway, yeah. So, by having moved to Miami, my mother then became a single mother. And like all single mothers, she did what she had to do. My mother was a very well-educated woman, or is, because she's not dead. I love her to death. My mother was a very educated woman, and she struggled at first. Jobs and stuff like that, they would tell her she's overqualified, or, she doesn't have the training for certain jobs, but she was overqualified for others, and, it was hard at first. But then she found work and stuff like that, and, she did what she had to do for us. And sometimes that was working long days and working so many hours and, so many days and stuff like that. And, we had, like I said, we had an aunt and stuff like that would watch us, or, my older sister would watch us, or if my uncle ever came into town, he would watch us and stuff like that. We'd sometimes have neighbors that would watch us. Everything was good until one time we lived at a certain apartments, and my mother had somebody at the time that treated us good. He tried to help my mom, basically help raise us. Never had a problem with him, aside from, the little disciplines and stuff like that he gave out, like any other person. But, we had some neighbors. It was a married couple. And the woman was very young. She was so sweet, I remember. And she always loved having us around and everything. And her husband, he was pretty cool as well. And I remember they had, I don't know if it was a relative of the husband or a close friend of theirs or whatnot, that was always around, and was staying, I think was staying with them for a little bit. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, it's kind of, it's kind of hard. It's kind of scrambled up, but that man was always around. Like I said, he was in front of everybody. He was sweet. He was kind, genuine. And I remember one time, I think it was that the married couple wanted to go out, and they wanted my mom to go out with her partner at the time. And my sister, I think during this time, my sister was either in Jacksonville, Florida, staying with some relatives up there, or she was in New Jersey, one of those two. But I remember it was just me and my little brother. And so my mom was trying to figure out how, because she wasn't going to leave us alone. And, like, I don't know, because I wasn't in the mix, so I don't know exactly what was. But I remember that we were left with the guy. Yeah. And everything was cool. We were, you know, me and my little brother, we watched TV and we ate snacks and this and that. And I remember it was time to go to sleep. And I remember we had some homemade bunk beds. They were like, one was like this, one was crossover like that, kind of. But they were like, I don't know if you can see, type of that shape, and it was up, elevated, so that a bed can fit underneath. So it was one bed going this way, one bed going this way, and kind of cross there, up against the wall. That you could put in a corner wall. So one will go one side of the corner wall, the other will go on the other. And it was bunk beds that were up top. I slept in one, my little brother slept in the other. We lay down, we fell asleep. I remember, I think my little brother actually stayed in the living room. He had fallen asleep in the living room or something. But anyway, I remember in the middle of my sleep, feeling something weird. You know, like you're being watched or something. And as I started awakening, I felt a hand caressing my backside. He was caressing my behind. And I remember kind of waking up, and I looked at him real quick, and then I moved as far as to the wall. And he was like, I remember him just saying that he was checking to make sure I was asleep. And he walked out. That was my first time experiencing molestation. And I remember that I felt so weird. And I knew it felt so wrong. And I was scared to tell anybody. Because I did not know what they were going to say. Or if I was going to be in trouble. It's been, from that day, there was times where they want me to go with them and stuff like that. Or the married couple want to go somewhere and, you know, come on, let's go. And this and that, we're going to the park, or we're going to go get some ice cream or this and that. And, you know, they tag me along, come on with us. And I'd be happy to go. And my little brother and stuff, until I would see that he would come with us. And somehow I always end up getting stuck sitting next to him. And I remember whenever people weren't looking or everybody was distracted in the car, how he pulled me closer. or how he put his hand behind my back and reach around my behind and squeeze it and caress me. And I'd be scared to move or say anything because I think it's my fault. But yeah, that happened for a little bit until I think it was he left. He went out of town or something, or the whole couple, I think, ended up moving out of those apartments and he went with them. Sorry. He went with them. Or we were the ones that moved out. I don't remember exactly, but either way, we were able to get away. And things went back to normal. Hadn't seen him since. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here. It's getting a little too long. I'll come back and pick up from there. Please make sure y'all like, subscribe, leave a comment. If y'all have any questions or anything, I'm more than happy to go ahead and answer them. Don't forget, this is Nay. Love y'all. Bye.